By the way, I have a special announcement in the middle of this video. I'm just going to say this at the very start. Tortured Poets Department is a very okay album. It's not my favorite, it's not the very worst, but it's just very okay. Do you like my cup? I went to go see A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I think around that same time, Taylor Swift released the Eras Tour movie and in movie theaters, and they still sold this cup, so you know what's happening. So let's just get straight to it. You know what the rules are. If you don't, the first line in the description will explain the rules. By the way, I'm not going to do the original Tortured Poets Department album. I'm going to do the anthology. So all 31 songs I'm going to tier list. So let's just get straight to it. My boy breaks only his favorite toys. I think when Tortured Poets Department came out, I listened to the full album, but I'm going to re-listen to this song very quickly and then give my thoughts on it. Yeah, I really like it. I think it has the ability to be both a really great workout song and just a chill out song, but it works more as just a chill out song. So because of that, I think I'm going to give it to our first D tier. If you look very closely also, I misspelled her song, but we're just going to pretend that didn't happen. Moving on. I feel like Tortured Poets Department had a really great potential to be the next Folklore or Evermore. Because I was fully convinced that's where she was going with this album, but instead, she said it was going to be a very 80s synth pop kind of album. Guilty as Sin. Okay, so when I originally heard Guilty as Sin, it wasn't my favorite song. If I made this video when I first listened to this album, I honestly would have given Guilty as Sin almost a B tier kind of song. Until I listened to it more and more and more, and I realized it's quite literally one of my favorite songs on Tortured Poets Department. So because of that, it's gonna go to our first E tier actually. But anyways, the Tortured Poets Department. The title track. Let me say this about Tortured Poets Department. This song, the first minute of it, it's very, very good. But then it just slowly and very surely just kept going down. So here's my dilemma with this. I'm debating if I should give Tortured Poets Department a B tier or a C tier. I'm going to go back and I'm going to switch all of them at the very end. For now, I'm going to give Tortured Poets Department our first C tier just because the first half of the song is really good and the second half, not really. First C tier goes to Tortured Poets Department. Moving on. So High School. I believe So High School was on the anthology, not the original. When I first listened to So High School, it was quite literally one of my favorite songs. Besides Guilty as Sin, this absolutely took the cake for me. It was one of my favorite. But I'm not sure if I should put it in the same tier as My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, or if I should put it in E tier. Because really, it would go in between actually. I'm gonna give it to our next E tier, only because it's quite literally my top favorite songs from the Tortured Poets Department album. Next E tier goes to So High School. Moving on. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. So here's my opinion on I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Originally, it was one of my favorite songs because I really liked how she wrote it and stuff like that. But as I kept listening to it and other people kept listening to it, it just slowly has become a TikTok song, if you get what I mean. Because that one line, I'm so depressed, I act like it's my birthday every single day. That one line has been used so many times on TikTok from the TikToks I've seen. It's just so overused at this point that honestly, I just don't like this song anymore. I honestly had to give it to our first B tier. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart goes to our first B tier. Moving on. The Prophecy. It sounds like one of those songs you would hear in like a montage, in a romantic like dramedy or whatever however it's pronounced. It kind of sounds like one of those songs. However, it's just kind of just a teeny tiny bit cheesily written. So because of that, I'm going to give it our next C tier. The Black Dog. Yes! The Black Dog is based off a pub in London, I believe. But this song, even though it's kind of slow at the very beginning, this is one of my top favorite songs on the Tortured Poets Department album. So because of that, we don't need to go any further. We actually can just put the Black Dog in our next E tier. Because it's just
6.5 hours later.
So fun to listen to. Going next. Robin. It's just kind of too slow in my opinion, you know? But it's well written, I will say that. For now, I'm gonna put it in our next C tier. Moving on. I'm gonna get you back. Love this. I remember this song now. It's honestly gonna go to our next D tier. Moving on. I Hate It Here. Originally when this album released, the song like kinda just a little bit got into a little bit of controversy because she says like she would rather live in the 1800s than the present day, but people misinterpreted it because back in the 1800s, that's when the romantic, quote-unquote romantic period in literature happened. So that's basically what she's talking about. Besides that, the song overall, I personally really like the TikTok trend. It's going to go to our next D tier. Next D tier goes to I Hate It Here. Moving on. The Manuscript. No. It's just too slow for me. The vibes are all off. I'm gonna honestly give The Manuscript our next B tier. I Look in People's Windows. Personally, I really like it. It's very well written, but it's not like E tier level quality of a song to me, so it's going to get our next D tier. Moving on. Love of My Life, or LOML. I definitely remember the song. I can't remember if it was a part of the original track listing or if it was on the bonus track listing, but I definitely remember this song. I remember this song because I realized Love of My Life should have been her number 5 track, her most like heartbreaking track instead of So Long London. So Long London is garbage, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise. I honestly wish she put this song on the original track listing instead of So Long London. Like, if you have like All Too Well and other songs that are like very heartbreaking, I'll start a petition for Love of My Life to be number 5 instead of So Long London. This song is going to get our first F tier. Our first F tier, Love of My Life. Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. I remember liking this song originally. It's still up there, but it's not at the same quality as like E tier. So I'm going to give Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus to our next D tier. I think it's kind of funny that I was able to upgrade my camera quality, but we're still doing old school with tier listing. But moving on. Clara Bow. So I remember this song getting a little bit of traction because Clara Bow, who was an actual real life person, she was basically like a socialite back in the, I believe, 1920s or 1930s, and her family got wind of the fact that Taylor Swift was writing a song about Clara Bow. I listened to it. I very much enjoyed it. I think Taylor Swift did a very great job writing the song and singing it. And like when people listen to this song, they made fantastic artwork. Honestly, Clara Bow is going to go to our next F tier. Next song. But Daddy, I Love Him. I think Fresh Out the Slammer is a little bit better written, but yeah. But Daddy I Love Him still has the same quality. It's just not a D tier or even an E tier kind of quality song. So I'm going to give But Daddy I Love Him to our next C tier. Next song. Down Bad. Yeah, I think the song is pretty good. It's just not an E tier level quality song. As someone who does work out like every single day, Down Bad crying at the gym, like that's, yeah, I get that. Down Bad is gonna be our next C tier. Moving on. The Alchemy. It's not my favorite song, I'll just say that. It's a little bit cheesy, and it kind of deserves our next A tier. See, that's the thing about Tortured Poets Department, this album, is that it's a very okay album. It's not my favorite, and it's definitely not the worst. It's just very in the middle. If you like The Alchemy, like, we're all entitled to our own opinion, but like, it's going to be our next B tier, actually. Moving on. Fresh Out the Slammer, nice. I genuinely really like this song, right? But it's not like an E tier kind of quality song. But it is a D tier quality song. The only thing I don't like about the song is that one line, like a tattooed golden retriever. I think it is in this song. If it's not, I'll put it right here. So I'm going to give it to our next D tier. The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Yeah, I really like this song. I like the message to it. It's just not my favorite, but I am going to give it to our next D tier. I'm not going to say what her name is. If you know what the video I'm talking about on TikTok is, then you know. If you don't, moving on. The Bolter. I remember this song. This is on the anthology. I remember first time listening to it, I very, very much enjoyed it. But it's not like an F tier kind of song, but it is definitely an E tier song. So, next one. Next one. Fortnite. So here's the thing about Fortnite. I definitely watched the music video the day it came out. I really enjoyed it. In fact, this song is on either my number 3, 4, or 5 list on repeat on Spotify. But here's the thing. I really, really enjoy this song, right? I just don't want to give it to a D or E tier. So it's going to go to our next C tier. Next song. I Can Fix Him. No, really, I can. Both Love of My Life and I Can Fix Him, No, Really, I Can, is a much better song than So Long London. I will say that. But I Can Fix Him, No, Really, I Can isn't an F tier kind of song. But it is a D tier kind of song. Next song. Peter. I definitely remember the song. This is a part of the anthology, and I remember it because this is the closest song that sounds like it belongs on either Folklore or Evermore. And in fact, Peter sounds almost like Champagne Problems. Just the way she does it is just a very stripped version. She plays it on the piano, very much like Champagne Problems. In fact, I think Peter is going to go to our next F tier. Next song. The Albatross. She made a promotional song for Where the Crawdad Sings, and the Albatross kind of belongs on the Where the Crawdad Sings movie soundtrack. So I personally really like it. I listened to it at the gym, and I was so blown away by how great the song was. I had to listen to it again. I listened to it again. Man, I really like this song. Next E tier. We just hit 25 songs, so we're basically halfway through the album. So I have a special announcement. Take it away, Pearl. Thanks, Pearl, from standing on top of our bed. But yes, there is a special announcement, because if you remember from this video from a year ago, NCAA football 14, all I can say is I said that I have a list of games, like a to be played list, just like a to be read. It's a TBP kind of a list. So I was thinking, now that I graduated from college, why don't I just start a gaming channel so you can come along with me as I finish all of these games that I have yet to finish. And that's exactly what I did. I started a gaming channel called Trident Cove, and to kick off the new channel, I decided to start a new series called Hard Mode. It's basically where I play games on the hardest difficulty, and to kick off the new series, I'm playing the original 2007 version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1. Besides hard mode, I'm going to be playing a lot of other games. And if you're interested in gaming content from me, from yours truly, you can go subscribe to the Trident Cove. There's 2 videos up right now that you can go watch. But yeah, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, but you'll never know. Yes, that is correct. I started a gaming channel called Trident Cove. You can go into the description below. But anyways, let's get back to it. Cassandra! Remember Peter, right? Same exact thing for Cassandra, but definitely belongs on either Folklore or Evermore. But I can't remember what song it sounds like the most. But brought out the piano again, has towards the middle of the song, she brings out another instrument. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, stripped down version. Yeah, it's gonna go to our next F tier. Really was hoping that she would do Tortured Poets Department as like the next Evermore or Folklore, but she decided to go with the 80s and 90s synth pop route. But yeah. How did it end? Again, just like Peter and Cassandra brought out the piano, add another instrument, belongs on either Folklore or Evermore. Can't remember what song it reminds me of on either album, but next F tier. Yes. My arch nemesis. So Long London. Literally. Either love of my life, the smallest man that ever lived, or I Can Fix Him, no really I can, should have been her number 5 track. When you're known for your number 5 track, you better have the best song on number 5. When you have All Too Well, all you had to do was stay Delicate, The Archer, My Tears Ricochet, Tolerated, and You're on Your Own, Kid. You better have the best song you can ever think of. That song is not So Long London. I get, like, her and Joel Alwyn's, like,
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
above S tier. It's just trash.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Not on my watch. No way. Alright, we're on our last 3 songs on the Tortured Poets Department, the anthology album. Alright, number 3 is Thank You, Amy. She masterfully wrote Thank You, Amy, which is, I believe, about Kim Kardashian, and sung it very well. Thank You, Amy is going to get our next E tier. Number 2 is Florida. Man, Florence and the Machine absolutely slammed down with Florida. Absolutely masterfully created, sung. Florida became one of my top favorite songs on the Tortured Poets Department. Florida is getting our next F tier. Alright, last but definitely not least, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? So, just like Guilty as Sin, I didn't really like the song in the beginning. It was just it was a whatever song. But it slowly also has been through the TikTokification of I Can Do It with a Broken Heart. But unlike I Hate It Here, it's such a great song. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me is going to get our next E tier. And there you have it! The Tortured Poets Department, the Anthology Deluxe album. I'm going to reshuffle some of these songs, and then we'll go through it together. Alright, here's the final tier list of the Tortured Poets Department, the Anthology album. S tier, So Long London. A tier, I Can Do It with a Broken Heart. B tier, I Hate It Here, the Manuscript, the Alchemy, and the Tortured Poets Department. C, Fortnite, The Prophecy, Robin, But Daddy I Love Him, and Down Bad. D tier, My boy only breaks his favorite toys. I'm gonna get you back. I can fix him. No, really, I can. I look in people's windows. Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. The smallest man who ever lived. E-tier. Guilty as sin. Fresh out the slammer. Who's afraid of little old me? The Bolter. The Albatross. Thank you, Amy. So high school. F tier. Love of my life. Clara Bow. Peter Cassandra. How did it end? Florida and the Black Dog. And there you have it! The Tortured Poets Department, the anthology album. I'm going to say one more thing about the Tortured Poets Department. Personally, I don't believe the Tortured Poets Department needed 20-something songs on it. I think there's 20-something. If there's not, here it is. Some of these songs on the anthology deserve to be on the original album. She should have done at least maximum 15 songs because she has really amazing songs on the anthology. But anyways, go subscribe to Trident Cove. I hope you enjoyed the video.